Hello and welcome to Professor Rima Al-Jarf's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to teach grammar for professional purposes. English grammar constitutes a major problem for Saudi college students. Many students confuse tenses, have difficulty with subject-verb agreement, with irregular singular and plural forms, with the use of definite articles, complex sentences, and many other structures. Based on my experience, I'm proposing a 5-stage model for teaching grammar for professional purposes effectively. By professional purposes, I mean teaching English or grammar for medicine, for engineering, computer science, psychology, translation, and so on. My model consists of 5 stages. The first one is content selection, presentation of a grammatical point, guided practice and error correction, independent practice with extension activities, and assessment. I'm going to talk about stage 1, which is content selection. College students learning English for professional purposes need to learn functions for daily communication with colleagues. They also need to focus on studying English grammatical structures that are common in the written text of their major. They don't need to study all the grammatical structures in English. They only need to focus on those structures that are very common in engineering, in medicine, in psychology, in, let's say, communication, if they are studying journalism, and so on. Common structures in scientific texts, such as scientific papers, reports, instruction sheets, advertisements, patents, are nominal phrases, compounds, derivatives, passive forms with no by phrase to specify the actor, and the present simple. No more. So these are the basic structures that a student majoring in science will come across while reading scientific texts. Common structures in journalism or newspaper language. For example, headlines use nouns, not verbs, for actions. Journalism or newspaper language uses the infinitive instead of the future. The article is usually deleted in openings. Use of the comma when there is no room for the conjunction and. Use of passive clauses with no agent, and inversion of normal word order. Some of the common structures in legal text are long and complex sentences and conditional clauses, coordinated adverbials that cluster at the beginning of the sentence, long complicated nominal groups, modal auxiliary shall plus be plus past participle. Shall is used to express what's to be obligatory, the obligatory sequence of a legal decision, not the future. The French origin of some legal phrases has affected the word order, as in court-martial, heir apparent, secretary general instead of general secretary. Okay, now the second stage is presenting the structures. Teach a new structure directly. Compare and contrast cases for the same topic. For example, the tenses. So we put the tenses side by side and compare them. Teach mnemonic devices. Mnemonic, this is for memory. Mnemonic devices, ways that would help the students remember the grammatical structure. such as ways for remembering plural rules and examples. Connect tenses with real-life situations. Use graphic organizers such as charts that show singular and plural forms, timelines to show differences between tenses. We can also use mind maps. Give brief rules. Avoid giving exceptions. Cover all cases briefly. If you're teaching articles, plurals, negatives, tag questions, cover all the cases but very briefly. Teach a detailed topic in stages. For example, subject-verb agreement. So we teach subject-verb agreement in, let's say, 3 stages. Students practice each installment before moving on to the next. Then give a brief summary of details when you finish. Use colors, circles, arrows, and so on to show relationships between the parts and have students verbalize rules orally. Now, the third stage, which is the guided practice and error correction stage. In this stage, students practice the new structure and do exercises in class under the instructor's supervision. The instructor provides communicative feedback. The students practice the new structure in longer discourse. Longer discourse means at the paragraph level, not sentence level, orally, in writing, and reading for communication. They analyze sentences before solving. They circle the verb, break the sentence into its constituents, verb, subject, object, pay attention to clues. Now, the fourth stage is extension activities. Here, the teacher should give extension activities. Extension activities include a free production of the new structure and use of out-of-class listening, speaking, reading, and writing activities. The students verbalize steps for producing a structure. Supplement classroom instruction with internet websites or mobile apps, class forum, and student blogs. Give activities that require the students to produce a new structure in a form or blog. Now, the last stage is assessment. Give weekly quizzes to find out whether the students have mastered the structure under study or if there are still certain weaknesses and certain aspects that have not been mastered. Quizzes should require students to apply rules, not to produce answers mechanically. Give more production than recognition questions. Test structures in a different sequence, in a different context, and examples from those given in class or in the textbook. Have students apply structures in context and in long stretches of discourse, which means at the paragraph level, not single sentence level. Test several structures using the same paragraph. For example, students change the verb tense and form, insert articles and clues. Change the question format for testing the same structure from quiz to quiz. If you're going to test, for example, the singular and plural forms, so change the question format. You can give, for example, the plural form and ask them to give the singular form, or give a mixture of singular and plural forms and ask the students to circle or underline the plural forms, or give the singular form and ask the students to change the singular form into a plural form, and so on. Test small details. Give many items for each structure. Don't give students faulty items and ask them to identify mistakes and correct them, because we don't want the students to see errors. Deduct points for spelling mistakes. The spelling should be part of the grade in everything, whether you're teaching grammar, teaching vocabulary, reading, writing, whichever skill. Well, this is the end of my lecture. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Please like my video, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Goodbye for now, and see you in another lecture in the future, inshallah.